What's up guys, welcome back to another video. It's Alexa here. So in this video we're going to be talking about clearing out your energies and keeping yourself safe around people, especially when you've kind of entered into this awakening and become better, in a sense of like your energy is better, you're feeling more positive and peaceful and everything. This is for those kind of people who are there anyway and who maybe meditate already and things like that. This is personally like what I do and what I kind of recommend people to do once they can and are at the stage. So when you're like going through your day-to-day life, you need to remember to meditate. This is specifically going deeper here. When you're meditating, you need to actually, I would say, do like minimum 15-minute meditations to help call in, when you're with God, call in your angels to help clean out your system basically of all negativity, and to activate, use deep breaths to activate your system and to help cleanse it out. And there's multiple ways to clean out energies that it comes out of us, you know. It could be like burping, even farting and things like that. And it might sound weird if you've never experienced it or you don't understand spirituality, but like energy comes out of us, and energy is like, you can't dissipate energy, it has to alchemize, it has to transmute in some way, in a sense. So, and it has to release in a sense, like energy needs to flow so through your system, and everything's basically energy. Like everything in the human body, like everything requires energy in a sense, like whether it's like related to sexuality, whether it's related to food, digesting your food, etc. Like everything requires energy, everything requires energy to do, everything has creative energies and so on. That's why you feel exhausted after a certain period of time, in a sense. And everything is energy and frequency and everything like that. So when you're meditating, you need to be able to clear out your system. And also think about when you're, sometimes when you're at the stage and when you can, think about yourself when you're meditating. Build up this auric field that comes from your heart and expands around you like a golden orb or a silver lined orb that will help you be more protected. And this way you won't have people in a sense invading your field of energy, which is your auric field. And this way you won't have a bunch of people like throwing their energies at you. And you need to do this probably like every day, pretty much, to do these different, like you could say, tactics, to kind of keep yourself more safe and to help clean out your energies and keep you in that peaceful, joyful, positive energy state. Because if you don't do that, what happens is during the day you might have like certain things trigger you a lot, or people's energies coming at you. If you can feel people's energies, if you're like a light worker basically, kind of like me, how I feel is I feel a lot of people's energies and I can detect people's energies throughout the day. So you have to kind of be able to channel these things properly, or just be able to kind of like sometimes block off certain energies. Sometimes you can't help but feel some energies. Some things are there for a reason to be cleared out and transmuted away, alchemized. But the most important thing is that you kind of like have this spiritual protection, and it might only feel silly if you haven't actually experienced spirituality, but you need to be able to clean out and protect yourself from negative energies, because these negative energies is kind of what will exactly ruin your days if you are not prepared. So you need to have, you know, shielding around you and clear out when you feel bad and start feeling restless and basically like big confirmations and so on. When you start feeling restless and so on, you need to meditate and actually take time for yourself and contemplate and rest properly. Your body is trying to tell you something, and it's that you need to clear out. And a lot of people don't do this, obviously, because a lot of people don't have a spiritual life to speak of. So a lot of people are stuck in constant negative energies and they have no idea of these things and God and so on. So I feel like that's where a lot of people are lacking, and that's the reason how you feel good all the time is when you take care of these things. Even if some things can kind of like, you could say, attack you or come at you, it doesn't really bother you because you're in such a clean state. You know, you're very unbothered by people's energies if you don't let people bother your energies. And this way, you know, when people come at you, even if it's like really negative energy, you're gonna be able to just like brush it off, like, you know, like something like hitting your armor and then it just bounces off. Because people's negative energy can inherently affect you if you're really well already in a state of peace and joy, and you've meditated and cleaned yourself out, and you have a good shield around you. This way, you can avoid most of the negative stuff that people throw at you in their energy fields, you know, coming at you and trying to interact with you, etc. And this is very real, and these are the unseen things that we don't see in our faith journeys, and these are the things you need to be concerned about, because there's a lot of stuff happening constantly in the spiritual realms that we don't see, and that you need to be aware of in a sense. And that requires obviously to know God, the truth. This requires you to actually like spend time developing your spirituality. And it's not something that you can achieve in a day. And even if you watch this video and you have no idea what I'm saying right now, and don't understand anything, you'll probably know that this stage and this video might not be for you right now. I think this video will probably only find people anyway who need it. And even if you happen to watch this and you have no idea what I'm talking about, then this is something that could be like further on the journey for you. But anyways, I hope this video kind of helps. I wanted to talk about this a little bit and like more deeply about meditation and kind of keeping yourself safe from negative energy and people. Obviously avoiding physically people and talking to people, and giving basically a wide berth to people who are negative and so on. Just staying away from negative things helps a lot, of course. You know, staying with God, staying away from everything that's not meant for you. That's the most important thing physically. But like on the unseen side, you also have to do things to keep yourself safe, because we're all connected as one. So you have to keep that in mind. We always can feel people's energies, even if we're not physically near them or talking to them or messaging them on online platforms or whatever. We can always feel people's energies and when somebody's doing something and so on. But many people just haven't accessed this intuitional ability. And some people maybe have varying degrees of this ability. But anyways, I'll leave it at that. I won't get too deep on that. But this is kind of just what I wanted to say in this video, and how important meditation, cleansing, and keeping yourself safe is. If there's a will, there's a way. Thank you for watching. God bless. If you'd like to donate, it's in the description. And if you want a one-on-one call with me, it's also in the description. Thank you for watching.